Welcome to our Arkansas football recruiting report. As always, we are joined by our Hogville insider, Otis Kirk. And Otis, aside from all the high school recruits we're going to be talking about today, it has been a whirlwind of a week for Arkansas football with people entering the transfer portal, entering the draft. Just what were your reactions from this past week?
Uh, I I wanted to give up. I mean, every every time someone goes into transfer portal, 100 people start messaging me. Rob, and I have people message me saying I'm not renewing my season tickets, and I'm thinking, why are you telling me? mean, I
They're already
mean,
jumping
you
off the
know, I
boat.
mean, I they want to vent to somebody, and so many people choose me. I guess I'm a. I want to tell them I'm not Dr. Phil, man. I'm not. I'm Otis. I'm an idiot, not Dr. Phil, man. So take it somewhere else. But no, I mean, it's just been a whirlwind week. It's been, it's just. I think one guy messaged me, and he probably had this about it right. He said, "Your days of off season after the bowl game or something like that
Oh,
are
they're
over."
cut off. They're done.
And
Yeah.
it is. This is free agency in college sports. It's all over the country. First place, everybody ev- everybody focus on what Arkansas is doing and what they're losing, but it's going on all over. And it's not just players that's not playing.
Mhm.
Tennessee lost a defensive end the other day. Oklahoma loses both quarterbacks. It's just
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. This is 2022 college sports. I mean, everybody enjoyed Musselman going to the Elite Eight last year with all those transfers and
Mhm.
Moses Moody and the players that came back. But I mean, he had a lot of transfers on that team, played a big role. If you, it's kind of like what I say about the portal: it giveth and it taketh. And
Oh, yeah.
six more spots to fill, maybe seven. I think it's six. Some are saying seven. Whatever. They've got six or seven more spots uh, to bring in recruits in 2022. So there's going to be some more recruits added. So it's not just all players leaving, but yeah, Arkansas is still in good shape. I mean,
Yeah. They're not alone in this, like you said, they're not alone in this boat. This is happening all across college football. The good thing is Dr. Kirk and I are going to break down a couple of young players that could fill some of those roles that have left Arkansas. So let's get right into some of these names. The first one, DBs. We've seen Joe Fouché, Greg Brooks entering the transfer portal. They're looking at a 2023 guy named Dallas Young. What can you tell us about Young?
Martindale, Alabama, not Arizona, Alabama. He committed to Arkansas on the 29th of December, the day before I left for Tampa. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", maybe 180, a cornerback, got good size, coming because of Sam Carter. This kid had offers to Penn State, Georgia, Florida State, Georgia
Wow.
Tech. I mean, Colorado. He's got. In other words, he's got some big time offers. Uh, and he's a kid that Arkansas got on early and really recruited hard. He'll be here in January for an unofficial visit. He's been here before, but very good football player and one that they're very fortunate to get. I mean, he's from Alabama and but they like him a lot. And of course, he obviously loves them and he committed early. And so he gives them 5 commitments in the class of 2023. So it's they're going well.
If anything tells me about a person named Young from Alabama, they're usually pretty good. I think one's playing in a chip soon.
Yeah, I think I voted for somebody named Young for the Heisman down
Yeah.
this
So
year. One
maybe
of the
that's a
few
good
times I've ever voted for the winner.
maybe that's a good omen. The next one could be Dallas Young, 2023 defensive back. All right. We move on to that D line. We know John Ridgeway out, Markel Utzi both declaring for the NFL draft. They need a little bit of help there in the future. Jackson Player, a Tulsa transfer,
Yeah,
2022. So talking about portal, what do you know about Jackson Player?
Jamil Ashley recruited him to Tulsa. Jamil's recruiting him to Arkansas now. This kid has it down to 5 schools: Arkansas, B- Baylor, TCU, OU, and Oklahoma State. And now here's the kicker on this deal: Arkansas is going to get him in for a visit, but he's from Waco Midway, which that's where
That's
Baylor's at.
Baylor. I was gonna say
Waco. So,
that's
you lose the linebacker the other day. I say you lose him on, you can lose what you never had, but the linebacker from Miami of Ohio went to Cincinnati. He was from Coleraine High School in Cincinnati. he went back and played for the University of Cincinnati. This kid, you've got to worry about Baylor there, but I mean, Arkansas had the inside in the sense that Ashley recruited him to Tulsa, coached him over there before he came to Arkansas. This kid had about 4 sacks last year. I think he's 6 foot 290. He's probably not. He's really good against the run, but I wouldn't think he's quite as good as Ridgeway. Just giving you something to compare, but he's a better pass rusher than John was.
He's 6 foot. You said 6 flat.
Yeah, no, 6 foot. Yeah, 290. He's a big.
He's
target.
smaller, but he has the weight.
Yeah, and he's got the quickness, and he's a better he's not bad against run. And I mean, John wasn't bad against pass. Well, I'm saying if you're going to compare him to the nose guard that Arkansas had with Ridgeway, what my comparison would be, this kid's probably a little bit better pass rusher. He had 4 sacks over at Tulsa this year. I think he would give him a little bit more than that. But good player. But Arkansas's got 4 schools there to beat. My gut tells me it's going to come down to Arkansas and Baylor for him. But
and it's tough to battle with a hometown team, but you hope that tie with Ashley is strong enough. And in a lot of cases, it can be.
Well, it can. And the fact also, the kid has left Waco once. I mean, he went to Tulsa.
That's a good point.
And so it's not like it's a lot easier to get a kid from Tulsa who's from Waco than to go to Waco and get a kid that Baylor really wants. At the end of the day, the kid, if he wants to go get closer to home, he's going to go to Baylor. If he doesn't, and his attachment, and he's loyal to Ashley, who recruited him, and who he played for, and who he knows and is comfortable with. He's comfortable with
right.
Jermel. So if that comes, Arkansas's got some advantages here. There, obviously, if the kid wants to go home, he's going to go home, and there's nothing you can do about it. But otherwise, I think Arkansas holds a lot of advantages outside of that. And so it'll depend. A lot's going to depend on how the visit here goes. Can they make him feel like? Because I mean, obviously, Waco's not that far from Fayetteville. I mean, he can still go home. I don't know that I've been to Waco. I don't know what's the further than Tulsa to Waco is. I mean, it's about the same distance, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I know that there's a strong tie there to Arkansas. So maybe Jackson Player will be transferring over to the Hogs. Of course, we'll keep you updated when we learn more about that. All right, let's keep it in-house in Arkansas. There's a safety out there. Omarion Robinson out of Little Rock Parkview. This one looking ahead. Usually we're talking 2022, 23, but this one's a few years in the future. What do you know about Robinson?
Closest thing to the kid Greenwood, who's 2026.
Right.
This kid, Omarion, is 2025. I talked to him this morning. We had a story out there on Pig Trail Nation, Hogville, about him. Talked to him. Arkansas offered him this week. The thing about it is, Arkansas offered him Friday, but Ole Miss and Memphis had already offered him back in November. So, wow. I mean, he's got 3 offers in the 9th grade.
And 2 in the SEC.
Yeah, and he says it didn't surprise him. He says he's worked hard, but what he talked about with me was, and you can read this in the story, but what he liked was it shows him the hard work that he's put in is paying off. He said when he played Little League football, not that long ago, he said he really didn't get any attention. Nobody really thought he was that good. And, he was just another player. He gets in high school and they put on the pads and gets real. Plus, he's worked hard. He took that, any slight that he may have had when he was younger, he took about that on his shoulder and went out here and showed people. And so he is definitely never going to be slighted again. I can tell you that. But he's about 6 foot 170, 9th grader. That's good size.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's an athlete, but yeah, he's got 3 offers. They won't be fine. I'm going to take.
That's not going to be the end of it. That's for sure.
No, in Arkansas,
oh my gosh!
Kids now. They've got James Jordan will be here. He'll start class when they go back this semester. And then of course you've got Landon Rogers there, and Alley came in last year in the class. So you've got 3 Parkview kids already up here, and of course, this kid's so far away. They may all be in the NFL by the time he gets here if he comes. But no, I mean, he talked about. He said, "Hey, I think he said hometown, but home state. But he was talking about his hometown school, Arkansas. To play for that. And he said they've got good coaches. They're competitive, and he liked that. And he thought it was neat that Parkview sends kids up here to the school. And Markel Upsett, you just talked about leaving. He was from Parkview too. came by via Missouri, but he was from
Mhm.
Parkview too. So they've actually had 4 players. I put 3 in my story. I forgot about us to be Parkview, but no, I mean, he's got good speed. He's obviously got what you're looking for, or schools wouldn't be offering him in the 9th grade.
Yeah, and I mean,
They don't have to offer him that
the
early.
biggest thing is now you're gonna say you're gonna have so many more letters by the time you're a senior.
Yeah,
And the two things we when you bring guests on this show that we hear usually, it's that one, Arkansas stays with these kids from the very beginning, and this
yeah,
is another one of those stories where Hogs were with me since day one, offered me since 9th grade, so that might be an advantage. Obviously, like you harped on, being from the state, not bad either for the Hogs. So.
exactly. And there's some pride there, and Parkview pride. I mean, Ricky Williams played Parkview. His son Zach was at Robinson, but Ricky played here, and and there's Anthony Chambers. There's been a lot of Parkview. James Rouse, who I got to meet. There's been a lot of Parkview guys come up here and play well. So Parkview's a good school. Brad Boulding has done it, and I want to say this about Brad Boulding too. Now, he's done a great job getting those kids promoted down there. I mean, he had a kid sign with Ole Miss. He had a kid sign with Memphis, probably some others too. Like I said, he had Joyner sign with Arkansas. He didn't coach Rouse, but he had Joyner sign with Arkansas. But Brad's done a good job getting, because Parkview was losing kids to Joe T. Robinson and stuff, and they've done a good job of getting. He's done a great job of getting the culture back there and getting the program going again in the right direction at Parkview, and he's done a good job there. I just want to compliment him for that.
It's a good farm system for the Hogs to have in recent memory. All right, last one. We're moving on to a name we have mentioned multiple times on
Yeah,
this show, and that is Caleb James, defensive lineman out of Texas. He's got some really warm interest from the Hogs. I mean, we've brought him up maybe 3 4 times. And
yeah.
you have some new information on Caleb James.
Couple of things on this big time defensive lineman. He's transferred from Fort Worth Nolan Catholic. He's going to Mansfield High School now. He's at Mansfield, which is fairly close there, and he is going to have a decision on January the 18th on his 17th birthday. Maybe we can get him on here.
Oh, January. All right. Happy birthday to Caleb James if he's
Birthday.
watching.
I don't even remember my 17th birthday. That's been too many years ago. I don't even remember being 17. It's been so long since I was 17. I don't even remember it, much less
The
my
edge of
birthday.
17.
But
Caleb James.
yeah, January the 18th, Caleb will announce his decision.
Next Tuesday for anyone watching. Next Tuesday.
Yeah, a week from this coming Tuesday. Yeah.
Yes. So he'll have his decision on the 18th.
Yes, sir. It'll be on Tuesday. He will be here the weekend before and the weekend after. So if that gives you any hints where he might be going, but OU, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and Baylor were the other schools involved there. But I feel real good about Arkansas with Caleb. I felt good for a long time. This is a kid that's been here numerous times. He'll be here Saturday for junior day, prospect day. He'll be here Saturday. But here's a kid that's he was at Arlington when they played A&M. He's been to numerous games up here. He came to camp. It's just a player that's had a lot of interest in Arkansas, and Arkansas has returned the interest for obvious reasons. Because this kid about 6'5", 250, and I'm telling you, he can play. He can flat play football. Mansfield's getting a standout right there. I mean, this kid is one of the best players in Texas. And you were talking about him being a 3-star last time. The confusion is he's a 4-star with ESPN. I knew I'd see.
And he's a 3 with 24/7.
Exactly, with
Gotcha.
24/7 rivals. But so we were both right. No one was wrong. But at ESPN, I knew somewhere, because I'd been listening with 4-star, and I got to look at that. And I looked and I said, hey, man, maybe he was right. But it's ESPN where he's a
Got it.
4-star.
And I think he is a fringe 4 on 24/7. Like, I think he is like 0.02 away from being a 4-star in their composite rankings. So it's almost consensus there.
Yeah, he's a good football player. I tell you what, he should be a 4-star. I'll tell you that right now. He should be a 4-star. But he's going to be one that they've got 5 commitments in the class of 2023. If they get Caleb and no one before that, that would be 6. There's always a chance. There's always a chance they could get someone between now and the 18th. But right now they have 5. And he would make 6 if he jumps on board as expected.
Yeah, Tuesday, the 18th, his 17th birthday. Caleb James, we're going to get that announcement. That would be a big get for the Hogs. And we know Otis will be keeping us in the loop throughout that decision making and when it happens as well. So those are four players through that where the Hogs are looking at. And that wraps up our Arkansas football recruiting report. Otis, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, back here next Sunday.